Good afternoon, my C++ students, and welcome. Sam, Vincent, say hi. Chantal, say hi.
Hi,
Jose, how
hello.
are you?
Oh,
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
great. So what's your question, Sam? Give me your question, Sam.
Yeah, my question is basically, I've been having difficulties when it comes to passing arrays in a parameter.
Okay, right. So that's the question that Sam posed to me. He wants to pass an array as a parameter. So let's go and look at our notes. I'm going to share my screen now. And my screen says, let's talk about this. He spoke about an array and he spoke about parameters. By definition, in lesson 24, an array is a data structure. And it has a definite beginning and it has a definite end. Now you got to keep this in mind when you're passing it across as a parameter. So in this lesson 24, Sam, I assume you read it. Vincent, I assume you read it. Chantal, I assume you read it. Here they had the passing average of marks, and I'm going to do a very similar program, but this time I'm going to use functions in there, and I'm going to use parameters. So you'll notice in the simple program, there's 10 marks being added. It starts from 1, it goes all the way to 10. Now that's an important point about an array. I have int exam marks 25. I can't now go and enter in 50 marks into the array because I've defined and I've declared the number of elements in the array to be 25. And the type of elements in the array, Sam, talk to me.
Yes, I'm here, I can hear you. I'm listening.
Talk to me. What will be the elements in the array?
It's going to be integer values of.
Correct. So every single element, Sam, is going to be an integer. So you would have done this program in lesson number 24. Now, I also told you a nice tip, Vincent, is to always go over the end of lesson important points. Let's skip to the end of lesson important points. Let's skip. Right, there we go. So they talk about you've got to have an array name. So yesterday we spoke about functions. We call a function by its name. We call an array by its name. Now, when I call the array by its name, I'm referring to all the elements in the array. Right, Sam? If I want to specify,
That's correct.
yes, thank you, Sam. If I want to specify a particular element in the array, I've got to access it by its index. So I must say mark a subscript I. There we go, a subscript I. That means I'm going to run in the loop 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in this case. Now let's look at, you can go through exercise 24. Now, when you come to passing arrays as parameters, Sam, you're going to pass the entire array across. You're not going to pass one element, you want to pass the whole array to the function. And let's keep in mind the following points. You'll need to read all of this in detail as well. I'm just going to specify what I feel is important for you to grasp. So if you look at this instance, it says void. It's a function called input array. And they say there's something strange about it. When they say strange, you're passing across the array without any endpoint, or you're not giving it a maximum size of the array. And I told you, Sam, that an array is a data structure and it has a finite number of elements, meaning I have 25 elements. In this case, the size is 10. That means it's 10 elements that I'm passing across. So it's like this, Sam. If I'm going to pass across Sam to somebody else, and I'm going to pass across you with everything that you have, your background, your knowledge, your money, everything, all of it is coming across. But I'll need to specify that that's what I'm going to pass across to somebody else. I don't know, Sam, are you married by any chance, Sam?
No,
Sam?
sir.
No. Okay. Oh, that's a good one. Now get ready for a joke, Vincent. So I want to pass Sam across to a prospective wife. I'm going to pass him across with his money, with his background, with his culture, with his surname. Hello, Tumelo. Right? Now I've got to specify that that's what I'm going to pass him across. Sam, you cool with that, Sam?
Not a problem, sir.
Okay, good. But if you notice in this case here, when I'm passing across, I'm not specifying how many elements there are in this array. So that's the issue out here in this sub-activity 25.a. Now, if you look at the next instance, when you are passing across the array as a parameter, you need to specify how many elements, what's the size of the array. And that's what I'm going to do. So I've taken this program and I'm now going to do a new share and I'm going to share my code blocks. Sam, tell me if you can see this, Sam.
Yes, I can see it now.
Great, great. So here's the, let me explain what is happening out here, Sam. So it's called weird array parameters. It's not really weird. We may think it's weird, but this is how it's passed across in from the main program to the functions. So if you look at this part over here, Sam, it says int summer average, or that simple global variables, meaning it can be passed across in the main program, in functions, all of graph. Summer is equal to 0, line 28. That's a simple assignment statement. Const size equals 5. That means I'm specifying the maximum number of elements that the array can have. It's like you, Sam. I'm going to pass you across to a prospective wife. You're going to come with a maximum of 5 good characteristics. Okay, let's say minimum. Vincent, that's a joke. Man,
Yes,
y'all don't get my computer joke, a programming joke. Okay, Chantal? So when I'm passing him across, I need to specify to the wife or the prospective wife that there are 5 elements to this array. Here I am declaring the array size, input array, right. So when I'm passing across, I want to pass it across with the name of the array and the size, which is the 5 elements. So there goes line number 31. Now, if you notice, I've got 2, you could call it elements inside the brackets, right? There's the brackets there. Let's jump all the way to this. You'll notice in line number 4, there's the array name, the function name, and this is a void function. Get ready for a joke. How do I know it's a void function, Vincent?
so it's written void.
Yay! Is that a good computer joke, Vincent? Oh,
Yeah, but you can do better, sir.
No, I mean, I don't have to do better. I'm just a pro. I'm teaching you a program.
That is a joke, sir.
Oh, that is a joke. Okay. So, and you see, I've got 2 over here. I've got 2 parameters. I've got input, I've got array P. P is for me, Prinavin, and int N. Int N, Sam, is the size of
So
the...
excuse me, sir, is it possible for you to change the array name there? Because when it's the C++ function name, like first when it goes green on the color, it actually confuses me. So I've got this habit of saying I change the names for such things.
Not necessary. You can keep it, but I'm taking it straight from your study guide. I want to keep the notes from your study guide. So when you are looking at it, you're not going to see something different. All right. So it's from your study guide, Sam. There's your study guide.
Yes, I can see that.
Here. You can see it, right? It's from your study guide. I'm taking it from here. It's the same program. So what I'm explaining to you is basically the program on page 308, how they pass it across. This where it says int array P and int N, those are, remember we did that yesterday? Those were the formal parameters in the function heading. All right, these are the actual parameters. Does that answer your question, Sam?
Yes, that part I'm okay with.
There's a one-to-one correspondence between the 2 of them. And you see where it says array P, size N. So whatever's in size is passed across to N. It doesn't matter what you call these 2 things over there. That's a good question. Let me go and change. I'll change the name for you, right? If I don't want to call it N anymore, maybe I want to call it Sam. I can do that, no problem. But I just got to declare that it is, that's what I want. So size will pass on the value of 5 to Sam. Is that okay, Sam?
Okay.
Actually, sir, I didn't mean that part. With the part that I was talking about was the name of the array, because if it's called array, the
Yes.
color of it becomes green, and then on that green color, it's actually a saved. What do they call them? What was already. It's a name that's been used for C++ by the C++.
Okay,
I don't know what you guys call it. Just forgot the name.
Okay. So you don't like that name. What would you like to call it?
You know, you can call it anything. Let's call it governor.
Okay, let's do that after, right? Let's change it around. Let's see this program working first, Sam, and then we'll change it. For now, I want to keep it the same as what's in the study guide, because I don't want to confuse Vincent and Chantel and Tumelo, who's here, right? Is that okay, Vincent? I'm Sam.
100% it's okay.
It's okay, all right. So now you'll notice that I am passing across the whole array. It takes the whole array and it takes the whole value, the value of 5, and it gets passed across in line number 4. Then it simply does a input into the array. It's going to run from 0 to 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5 elements, right? And the same thing will happen in line number 9, where I'm displaying values from the array. It's going to, the C in changes to a C out. And you'll notice I've got to specify again that I'm passing across the whole array, and I'm passing across the size of the array. So I'm passing across all of Sam to the prospective wife, but I'm only giving her 5. Hey, wait a minute. I don't know if you're Zulu. 5 lobola cows. How's that? Hey, how's that for a joke? Right. So that's what I'm passing across. Right? Maybe what we'll do is we'll get some more cows and we'll increase the size of the array after this. Now I just want to run this before I do the sum of arrays. Let's do build and run. Let's do this. Are you sharing? Are you able to see the screen now? Can you see it says enter 5 values, Sam?
Yes, sir.
Right, so let's enter 5 values. I'm entering 4, I'm going to enter in 7, I'm going to enter in 8, I'm going to enter in 3, and I'm going to enter in 0. Right, let me just add that up. 7 plus 4 is 11, 11 plus 8 is 19, 19 plus 3 is 19, 20, 21, 22. The sum of all elements is 22, right? I'm happy with that. So it did what it was supposed to have done. It entered the values and it displayed the values. Now I'm going to explain to you, I'm going to go a little bit in depth in terms of a reference parameter and a value parameter and why I've got to do it like that, right, Sam? So you'll notice in any computer program, you have input, processing, and output. Here's my input. Here's my input into the array. This in line number 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 is my processing, and in line number 9, 10, 11, 12 is my output. Now you'll notice, Sam, you asked me about passing across parameters. Let's look at line number 33. I'm calling it sum up array. In sum up array, I'm passing across the whole array, the reserved word array. I'm passing it across because that's what I declare it to be, an array. I'm passing it across, I declare it. I'm passing across 5 cows, right? 5 cows. And I'm also want to pass across summer. Summer is a variable. Where I declare it in line number 28. And I want to take on whatever values they do in this sum up array. I want to get it back to me. So this will explain to you what a parameter does. So now let's jump to summer. Right, so there's summer out here. Let's look at this. Array P, there's my array P, which gets passed across. The whole, all of it, all the elements. and all the elements came from input array. Sam, you with me, Sam?
Yes, I'm still with you.
Right, and you understand the concept of passing the whole array.
100%. Yeah.
Then can you see this one there, size, Sam? What's the value of size, Sam?
It's 5.
Right.
It's 5 at the moment.
Oh, good, good, good. Yeah, Vincent jumped because he knows what the 5 represents. What the 5 represents, Vincent?
His characteristics and the cows.
The cows, yeah. Right. It's the size of the array, right? Okay, there's the size, which will never change. That will not change. If he's gonna, the array size is gonna be 5, that's what it's gonna be, 5. It will not change, okay? Now let's look at the next parameter called summer. And you'll notice in front of summer, I have this and symbol, right? That means it's a reference parameter. That means whatever happens inside the function, Sam, whatever happens in there, it's going to get passed across to summer, which is in line number 33, right? So you'll notice inside SumUp, it goes and finds the total of each one. Total is equal to total plus array. Now I deliberately created an extra parameter to show you and explain to you that the value of total gets put into summer, and then it gets passed into the parameter, which is the reference parameter summer, and then it gets transferred back to line number 33, and it gets displayed in line number 34. So let's think about my marriage proposal of this prospective Sam. He has 5 cows, which is the size, is not going to change, but he is going to give off the value summer, which he goes in as 0 when he goes to meet his prospective wife, which is 0, nothing in there. Inside here, they go and find the total of the array, which is the total of whatever it is, and they pass that across to him in the variable called summer, and that gets passed to him in line number 33, and it's displayed in line number 34. I don't know what computer joke I can make with that. Maybe he goes and they give him, like you know, in the Indian tradition, we'll go, they'll give us some sweetmeats and to eat and all of that, and like with the Indian tradition, you can bring it home, you know. So I don't know about how it works with the Zulu tradition, but this is what happens here. So it's referred, right? It's referenced and it comes out. Sam, do you get to grips with what I'm talking about, the parameters?
Yeah, I'm still with you, sir. Yeah.
You're with me? With me. Okay. Oh, Tumelo says
Yes.
mic is not working. Right. Sorry, Tumelo, but as long as you can hear and you can listen to the recording afterwards. Tumelo, does this explain to you the concept of passing arrays as a parameter? Sam?
Yes, sir.
Do you get to grips with what it means of passing an array as a parameter?
I can say 50% so far. I'm getting there. Yes.
Getting there. You're getting there. All right. Is it what I've tried to break it down in the simplest of possible terms of how and what you pass it across, right? So if I in this example on line number 16, I've got 3 parameters in my function heading, which is the array, which is the size of the array, and which is the a local variable that takes on something inside there, right? I could have went and displayed it inside this function, but I chose not to, just to explain to you how it comes out in line number 33. All right. What I'll do is I'll post this in the WhatsApp group, and you need to copy and paste this, listen to the recording again, and it should become a little more clearer as to how arrays are passed between the main man, the main program, the main man out here from line 26, and a function. All right. How's that? Half an hour? Yay! That's what I said. I timed myself. I need half an hour to explain this to you, and I did it in half an hour. I don't want to take too long, then people don't watch the video or they'll get bored with it. It's only actually I did quite a number of concepts in here, Sam. I did the concept of passing array as a parameter. I did the concept of passing across a reference parameter, and we played around with working with local and global variables. Sam, are you cool?
Yes, I'm cool. Just that I'm confused with the fact that when are we supposed to use reference parameters? Like, is there a certain time where you have to use them, or what happens with them actually?
Repeat your question, Sam.
I'm saying, like, when are we supposed to be using the reference parameters?
Okay,
Like,
very
is
good
there a time where
question.
you should...
Very good question. When do you use a reference parameter? Am I right? Is that what you asked, Sam?
That's correct, sir.
Right. You will use a reference parameter, Sam, when you want the value to be transferred out of the function into the main program. Let's run this program with the reference parameter, right? So input 5 values 5, 4, 9, plus 1 is 10, plus 8 is 18, plus 2 is 20. There we go. Can you see it says the sum of all the elements is 20? Do you see that, Sam?
Yes.
Now, this is what I'm going to do, Sam. I am going to remove that and sign, that and symbol, right? I'm going to remove this from here. I'm going to make it now a value parameter. And watch what happens, Sam. Watch what happens. Right? Let's just see what happens. Oh man, where's my output? Right. Sam, are you watching, Sam? Sam,
Yes, sir.
are you watching?
I'm watching, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Do it again. Enter 5 values. 4 plus 5 is 9, plus 1 is 10, 10 plus another 10 is 20, right, Sam? And I'm going to enter in the last value of 0. Sam, watch the Sam. Watch the Sam. Are you watching, Sam? Sam, are you watching?
Yes.
Right, watch. Sam! Sam? Sam, are you there?
I'm watching, sir, yeah. I'm
Right,
just
what
reading
happened?
through the
The
screen.
sum of all the elements is what, Sam?
It's 0.
Why? Vincent, what has happened, Vincent? Tumelo. Oh, Tumelo's mic is can't work. Chantel, I taught you the wrong thing. Oh no. Sam, what are you doing? Sam,
No, I know what happened.
what happened, Sam?
It's because we didn't use that ampersand sign, and that
That
ampersand sign makes
ampersand, yes.
the values change.
Right. Sam, I'm going to take a bet with you now, Sam. I'm now going to put that ampersand, I'm going to make it a reference parameter, and I'm going to be the man. I'm going to make it work. If it works and gives me the right answer, 20, I win the bet. What did they say, Sam? You want to take a bet with me?
No, I'm not taking the bet.
Ah, man. There, Chantal got my joke. Yeah, finally, I'm working, I'm on par. I've got my other joke. On par with arrays passing as parameters. Oh, man. Right. Sam, watch this, Sam. I'm just going to put this ampersand, right? This and sign there. And I'm going to compile it, Sam, build and run. Let's see if I am worth my weight as a tutor for you. 4 plus 5 is 9, plus 1 is 10, plus another 10 is 20, plus 0. Sam, are you watching this, Sam?
Yes, sir.
What do you think the answer is going to be, Sam?
20.
Let's see if Sam is right. Chantal, you take a bet. Vincent, you take a bet. Tumelo?
Is it not 21? No, it's 20. Yeah, it's 20. Sorry.
It's 20. If it's 20, then I win the bet. Oh, no. Sam said it's 20. Okay,
So
I
it's too obvious.
Yeah, it did, sir.
Right. Let
We
me
just want to eat Sam's money.
Yeah. Check it out there. It's 20. Sam, does this answer your question why we need the reference parameter?
Yes, it does now.
Good.
Sir?
Yes.
Can I just then how would you then define the reference parameter in words? Like if you had to define it in maybe a
Let's talk
couple
in
of
simple
sentences.
English, right? In simple English, right? A reference parameter, like
Okay.
the word reference, it comes from the word per. Whatever happens in the function, whatever happens when we go to visit the prospective wife, the bride for Sam, right? Whatever happens at their house gets referred to and passed across in line number 33. That's the word reference. It changes whatever it happens in the function.
Okay.
Right? Now, that's why Sam was having a bit of difficulty understanding when we're passing across a parameter as an array, right? So an array as a parameter. Because it, really speaking, if I make this into a reference parameter, that means I can change the values in the array and the size, which I should not be doing. Because by definition, that's not what is supposed to take place with a reference parameter, and especially passing across an array as a parameter. Okay, Sam? You just got to go through this 2 or 3 more times, Sam. Listen to this video,
Okay, sir.
and listen to, and you know what you do? You take out this ampersand, you play with it, you'll see how the program will not give you 20 because it's not passing it across in the main program, the main man. Okay?
No, sir, that part I understood correctly because it comes with the function, that part.
Good.
The only part that I couldn't understand was the part of the constant int array p, where now you need to declare your array as a constant integer.
Okay, you've got to declare the array in the beginning before you use it. That's the problem with the C++, right? The compiler out here and the language. So in line number 29, you got to declare the size. So let's say, for instance, I don't want 5 anymore and I make it 10. Once I change it out there, Sam, it's going to run 10 times. So I just want to show it to you. Let's go and run it now. Build and run. It's going to say enter in 10 values. Look at that. 1, 2, 3. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right? The sum of all the elements is 55. It should be 10 plus 1 is 11, 11, 5, 50, right? Something like that, right? Okay. That's where you'll declare it, Sam, the size of it. And because of the nature of the definition of an array, that it has a fixed size, you got to pass that across as a parameter as well. Can you see? You're passing across size. And you have to have it declared that it is a reserved word is array. You're passing across the array. But it so means that you want to change the array name to something else. All right? Let's go and put it back to 5. And let's go and make this array. Let's change this name to what kind of
sir, that part I understand.
You understand
but look at yes, but look at the your header file for your header function for the array on top where it says void output array on line 9. Can you see that line 9?
Yeah.
And then you also called the array because we declared the constant int as the size, but now we're calling the size and the array at the same time. That's what I was confusing.
Oh, in line number 9, where we're calling it size, int is still int n is still the size.
Yeah, but now our array p is now a constant int.
Oh, okay, okay. I could have done it out here. Let's put it out here. I could have put const over here. It won't. It should not change anything. It should not, really speaking, change it. Build and run. Let me go to the view of logs. What's the error it's giving me? It doesn't like this. Oh, it doesn't like it because it's remaining constant. It doesn't like it. Let's go and build it again. That's fine. Let's remove this word const. Play around with it. Remove it. Let's see if it will compile. Hey, it's compiling. It's compiling. You like the compiler that doesn't mind. The compiler doesn't mind. Build and run. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 and 4 is 2 plus 3, 6, 10, 15. Yeah, it works. It's fine. It works. Without the word const, with the word const. Right? Sam, there we go, Sam.
So what's the use for why did they put the constant in? Because even on those messages at the end, they say we
Yeah.
should put the constant.
Yeah, it depends on the compiler. It's a weird compiler. I'll call it. Some compilers are weird. They take certain things. Some don't take it. In this instance, it worked. But really speaking, we should be passing across some values. All right.
So basically, it's the version that he's probably using.
I think it could be that, yeah, because my version works. It allows me to remove the word const and it gave me the answer. All right.
No. It's not about the version. It's because the book itself, the study guide itself says we should use constant. So that's why I'm surprised. Why do we have to use constant?
Yeah. Okay. Where does it say you need to ensure that you're using constant? But I could have. Like I said, I removed it, and it worked. It worked when I removed it.
It's there at the bottom, I think, on our study guides on page 298.
Yes, there we
go. At the bottom.
To prevent a function, it's also on page 305. To prevent a function from changing the values of an array, the const reserve word has to be used before type in the parameter list. This is called pass by constant reference. But like I said, I showed you now, it did not matter with my compiler. Okay, but I would advise you, Sam, to stick with what they've written in the guide, right? Stick with what you have in the guide. That means I am putting the word constant in there so it doesn't change. But why I will not put the constant value over here is I want it to change. I want the values to change. So if I put the word const over there, it's going to give me an error. All right? Oh, it's going on and on and on. Something is not right, right? No match. There's an error there. So I take that out, and according to page 305, it says, I am passing across pass by constant reference. That means the elements of the array will not change. Okay? Sam, does that answer your question?
No, it makes sense, yes.
Okay. But like I said, I removed that and the compiler accepted what I did. Okay? But stick to what the book has, because in the exam, there'll be people that are marking this work that may not necessarily know the variations, that if you remove the word constant, it would work. If you put the word constant, it also works. So stick with what they have as a convention. Okay.
No, basically that's the only problem I had, because I was kind of confused about that part.
Okay. There we go. All right. So let's just put it back to where it was. So is that okay? Any other questions you have, Sam?
No, that's about it.
That's about it. Did I answer your questions? Am I worth my being your tutor and helping you, Sam?
Yes, it's just that you haven't answered my question on WhatsApp.
Thank you. All right, the WhatsApp question, that's a personal question that you wanted me to answer. I'll call you and we'll talk about it. All right, about your future in programming. Right. Okay, Vincent, Chantel, Tumelo, can we do our goodbyes now? Oh, sorry, Sam, is there any other question? Sam, any other
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome. Sam, any other question?
Maybe just one from me.
Yes.
When are we meeting again? Is it
tomorrow, 5 o'clock?
Wednesday or Friday?
Tomorrow, 5 o'clock.
Yeah, that's fine.
Tomorrow,
no, that's fine with me.
No, tell me what you want to do. I can. If you'll have a question,
no, it's okay.
Then I can work on it for half an hour.
Tomorrow is good.
Right.
Okay.
Is that okay? We'll have a quick question to help you out. What would you like me to explain? Sam, Vincent, Chantal, Tumelo?
Because I know variable diagrams are going to come out.
Yes.
Yes, variable diagrams. You.
Give me a question. I'll take the question from the guide, and I'll do a variable diagram with you. But we'll do the same thing from there.
Okay.
Let's look for variable. Variable. There's a variable diagram. Right. There's an example of a variable diagram. Oh, this is one here, exercise 5.1. This is a nice one to work with because it does some changes, and I even have a video on this as well. All right, but I'll explain it to you tomorrow at 5. Is that okay?
Okay.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Go watch this video again. And why I'm not increasing my number of views on my YouTube?
So give people time when
Yeah,
immediately the
it'll
exam is
happen.
like, you
Only
see,
got
you see them
240.
increasing.
Only 240. I like a
They
lot.
will increase though.
Okay, I like lots of views. Let's go and see how many views I got here from yesterday's. Look at there. Look at there. Only 7 views. Only 3 views. Only 5 views.
It'll happen.
Look at that. And for today's
So we have exams. The exam is coming close. It will happen. A lot of people will be going to watch the videos.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh, I forgot to
Thank you
stop
very
the
much, sir.
recording here. I forgot to stop the. Oh, yes. Thank you. Let's do our goodbyes. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye. Bye. Goodbye. Goodbye.